United 0, Crystal Palace 0. To me, that feels a bit like 2 points dropped out there the day, I've got to admit.
Yeah, Pete, you took words out of my mouth, mate. Look, it's so frustrating today, like, you know what I mean? Look, if you don't take your chances, you're not going to win the games, yeah? And you took Isak as well. Look, he's my guy. Oh, this is the guy I wanted in the club. That chance he had, yes, he should have buried it, but one of those touches poor. But it'll come, the ghost is going to come, yeah? He should not be downhearted, yeah? But, look, I think that you had chances, didn't take him. That is the thing. And if you don't take your chances, Pete, you're not going to win games.
I was kicking myself when he should have put his laces through that. Midfield today for me was not effective. I didn't think Willock had his best game. Longstaff, Joe Linton did huff and puff, but not great in the midfield today.
Nah, it looks a bit weak, doesn't it? Like, I mean, Joe Linton again. If anyone's going to be best midfield in the team's Joe Linton today, I thought this guy, you know, he works hard for the team, he winning tackles again, he works, dives in as well, which is great. But we badly missing Bruno. Bruno is a big miss today, Pete. And everyone knows that without him in the team, we're half the side. We ain't the other one's missing. ASM's missing. Callum's missing. You know, and it just goes to show that it's frustrating, Pete. It's frustrating all around, mate.
Yep. Was that goal rightfully disallowed for us?
No, I mean, the goal should have stood. We got calm today. Let's be real, right? I mean, like, the ball covered the defender, I think, right? But at the end of the day, Peter's waving, by the way, Paul's waving, by the way. And, you know, there's nothing wrong with that at all whatsoever, sort of thing, you know. We got done by VAR so many times, yeah? And VAR doesn't like Newcastle. To be honest with you, Pete, we don't like VAR neither, because we get conned every single time, again, every time. And that's the Palace, right? Their goalkeeper, wasting time, shocking, again. And you know what it is, right? I mean, that needs to be addressed.
Yep, I mean, I was a bit pissed off. He was time wasting a lot of the time, as well. West Ham next Sunday. You're just praying, hopefully, Maxi and Bruno back for that game. There should be, in my opinion.
Oh, absolutely. We need them both back in ASAP. If we don't, we're going to struggle again. That is the thing. West Ham, and they're at the bottom of the table, Reece. I think West Ham come back strong, yeah? Now they've got Paquetá in the midfield. They signed them up, yeah, I think he's going to be decent. But we need the two big guys there. ASM and Bruno, we need it back in. If you don't, we're going to struggle again. Do you know what I mean? But if you get them back in, and hopefully Isak is going to be out as well, because he went off, didn't he, as well? So that's the worry.
Yep. Miggy was not too bad today, not one of his better games, but to take him off for Murphy, of all people, who's been absolutely garbage this season.
The thing is, though, Pete, I think he's my man of the match today. And that's going to surprise you. I think he worked hard today. I think he's running about, getting great positions as well. But I love seeing him hit some of the right foot as well. But he's unlucky when Joe Linton tried to play him through, and he just didn't come off. I saw all the back mark against him. But I thought Miggy was excellent today. I think he's running about today, that's my opinion. But my advice to Eddie, please don't play Jacob Murphy again. If so, get Eddie Murphy on, Roya. I'd rather Eddie Murphy rather than Jacob Murphy, because what does he actually see in him?
Crossing terrible when he came.
Shocking. I mean, he's a championship player at best. He's not a Premier League player. You know, he's been in the club since 2017, right? 5 seasons. Has Jake Murphy improved? I don't think he has at all whatsoever. I haven't seen it. And if someone's watching this, can someone tell us, what has he improved?
Nothing for me.
He's shocking, Pete. He is absolutely awful, man. And I don't want to see him ever play for us again. Because this is when we need James Maddison or Diaby. So if we get one of those two guys in, right? We would have won that game. It needed a Maddison. It needed Diaby today. We would have won that game with ease today.
Absolutely. Well, brilliant save journey back. Crystal Palace 0. Just going that we didn't get 3 points in the day. What do you make of that?
Yeah, I'm absolutely gutted as well, because we should have won that game. Isak had a great chance in the first half. If he had put it either side, it would have been a goal, but he tried to chip the keeper and the keeper read it, so 0-0 at half time. I thought, right, okay, second half, let's have a good go at this, because they're there for the taking, and we got the goal, but then it got ruled out on VAR. I need to see it again, because you know, I saw Willock get a shove. If he's been shoved and hit the keeper, then there's no, you can't do nothing about it. It's momentum going into you by being pushed. So, but I need to see it again to have a look.
Yeah, absolutely. I didn't think my midfield was that effective today. Bruno's just a big miss in the side at the minute. Willock was very ineffective. Sean Longstaff wasn't impressed today as well. Joe Litton did half huffed and puffed, but the other two wasn't that great today.
No, not at all. I thought Sean Longstaff wasn't that great today either, and he got that early yellow card, for which wasn't even a nothing foul really. And I mean, I didn't even know why he got the yellow card, but he just didn't seem himself. He played well on Wednesday, but didn't play well today. Jacob Murphy come on for Almiron. He's absolutely useless.
I mean, cross and shocking when it came on. I just thought when he came on, that's 0-0 now.
Yeah, absolutely. He's absolutely woeful as Murphy. We needed someone in that midfield in the calibre of Madison today. Someone who could just unlock their defence. And Madison would have been that player. And we desperately need the right winger like a Diaby. Definitely need that. And hopefully in January, if Leverkusen and Leicester are still having bad seasons, hopefully we can go in and go all out and get these two players in.
Absolutely. We'll move on to West Ham. Hopefully Maxi and Bruno are back for that game because we really, really need them. West Ham have had not a great start to the season. So if we get both of their players back fit, could you see us getting something at West Ham a week tomorrow?
Yeah, I can do, because if we play as well as we've been playing, and obviously Alexander Isak will probably re-look at this chance again that he
should have put that in. I mean, all you got to do, put your foot through that and that's in.
Yeah, and he'll look at that and he might say, right, okay, next time I'm in that position, I'll make sure I put it in the back of the net. I think if them two are back next week, we will definitely get a result at West Ham week. There's no reason why we can't go down there and beat them 2-0 or whatever. Yeah.
Well, brilliant. Thanks, Tony. Crystal Palace 0. Frustrating game. 1 and 3 points out there the day. We didn't get them. How are you feeling?
It just feels like a loss. With those chances we had, but just struggling to break down that Crystal Palace defence, and it didn't help with that time wasting.
Annoyed me that really, didn't it? Isak had that glorious opportunity. Put your foot through that, and that's in the back of the net.
That or you just take it around the keeper.
Yep.
Look, the misses, but I'm sure, but he will get goals.
Yeah. Was that a foul? Was our goal rightfully disallowed?
From what I've seen from people on Twitter, no.
Again, if that is the case, then that's another VAR screw up we have had, definitely. I mean, Liverpool, and now this game the day, if I need to check it back myself, definitely. Midfield I didn't think was great the day. Joe Linton huffed and puffed, I got to admit. Willock, ineffective for me. Longstaff, same as well.
I just think Willock should have had some time out. He's played 5 games in a week now. I think Anderson should have started. And, he did all right when he came on. I'd probably look to start him against West Ham. I mean, maybe unless... I'd probably look to start him against West Ham. Hopefully Bruno will be fit for that.
Yeah, absolutely, as well. Again, sub Murphy on again. Terrible when he came on. Can't cross a ball. Just can't cross a ball.
You just think that extra energy, you should be using it, but
it's a final product. Fair enough having all this energy, but his final ball is dreadful.
Well, exactly. I mean, Eddie Howe did try changing something, fair enough, but just didn't work. However, if he keeps playing like that, then we've got to look at probably getting rid of him in January. Yeah,
I think he should have gone in this last window just gone, I've got to admit. We'll roll on to West Ham a week tomorrow. If we'll get Maxi and Bruno back in the side, we really need them. Can we take something at West Ham? They've not had a great start to the season themselves.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they are improving, but I think we can definitely get something. Last season, we got a draw deservedly so, and that was without ASM and Trippier. And, we've had a few wins at the London Stadium, so we can definitely get something there.
Yep. Oh, well, brilliant. In Newcastle 0, Crystal Palace 0. Gutted we haven't taken 3 points. Bit of a frustrating game, that, wasn't it?
I agree on that. To be honest, the way we played in the first half and the second half, it was just chance after chance. We should have scored. I think Alexander Isak had the best chance of the game. Could have 1-on-1 against the keeper. Keeper made a great save. Corner, great save again from a corner. It looked like it was going to go straight in the net from a header. But oh no, Palace didn't show no threat. They only had one best chance of the game because that just shows you if Palace take one chance, then that would have been a goal.
I mean, Paul had to pull off a couple of saves himself, I've got to admit. Midfield, not effective for me today. Joe Linton huffed and puffed, which he does. Willock, ineffective for me. Longstaff as well.
Same, yeah. It's just, no, it is. When they got the ball, all they had to do was pass around. They were starting to show like 1-2 they throughout the game, but it was just the clinical finish that was just was missing. We've been consistent, I agree on that, but we just missed complete, because when you put Palace in a position like that, we should to be consistent, but it was just, oh no, it was a frustrating game, and referee didn't do us any favours whatsoever.
Was the goal rightfully disallowed?
To be honest, when I looked at it, it looked like it was, to be honest, it was 50-50. I think I was a bit angry that they didn't look at that one that where Palace player pushed Linden, because at the end of the day, he was going for the header, but then if he didn't push him, I think that would have been different and something like that.
Yep, Murphy, dreadful when he come on. People say, oh, but he's got bags of energy, but his crossing is garbage. You mean his crossing was shocking again?
Yeah, it was.
Should have been gone in this window gone.
Should have been, I had to say it. Even though Jacob Murphy, I'd give him credit where credit's due, he served Newcastle well, but when he came on, he didn't show no offer whatsoever.
No, absolutely not. Move on to West Ham a week tomorrow. Hopefully Bruno and Maxi are back for that M1 because we need them. But can we take something at West Ham, considering we've got a decent record down at the London Stadium? And West Ham haven't had a great start to the season themselves.
I agree, because West Ham had a poor start, didn't get any points, and they're sitting at the bottom. I hate to say it, but we have got a good record down at the London Stadium, winning games and everything like that. Past two games we played against them, and yeah, could be close. I think we'll get something. I think we do need Maxi back, and we do need a few Bruno, hopefully. But at the moment, Bruno's only got 2 weeks before he fully recovers.
Hopefully next.
Something like that. But Maxi, I think Maxi will be okay for next weekend. Let's just hope. I think Eddie Howe might have to rest 1 or 2 players, probably Joe Willock, because he's been non-stop all day, and so is Joe Linton. But at the end of the day, it's a frustrating day. That's all I got to say.
Certainly was, wasn't it? Really, thank you. Palace 0. Good, we didn't get 3 points. Very frustrating. What do you make of that?
Yeah, you're right. Frustrating is the word, to be honest. I thought we had the chances. I think stats-wise, I thought possession was about 50-50. Shots-wise was pretty 50-50 as well. But I think we had the better of the chances. I think on a different day, we could have scored 2 or 3. And that's what the frustrating thing is. Isaac through on goal.
Put your foot through that, and that's in the back of the net.
Well, I don't want to put it on him, to be honest, because he's a new player. We've seen what he can do against Liverpool. It's very easy to sit in the stand and go, he should have scored, you know. And we saw what he did against Liverpool. Scored 2 fantastic goals in that game, one of which was disallowed. And as it happens, we had a goal disallowed today as well that I'm very curious of, because we've not seen it back yet. I would love to. But from what I've seen, I think we might have got screwed again. Yeah.
Could have well have done it. There's loads of people going around seeing we're a bit screwed today. Midfield, quite ineffective for me. Joe Linton huffed and puffed. Willock, I thought, looked very ineffective. Longstaff, just not good enough, is he?
Yeah, it's tough, because I will say that I thought Longstaff played really well against Liverpool, and I thought Lascelles did all right as well. 2 players that really no one would have picked for that team, and both had a good game. They're knackered. This is our 3rd game in a week, and when you've got Bruno injured, Shelvey injured, you're looking at 19-year-old Anderson to try and come in and help. We've got forced to play, Willock again. I think he could have done with a breather this game, and you talk a little bit about we just needed that little bit of extra today, we just need that little bit more. When he's just played 3, it's his 3rd game in a week, the guys are knackered. I know they're professional footballers, and I know we're early in the season, and they should have it in the tank, and they did run their socks off today, but there's a difference between being fresh and bright and being a little bit laboured, and I felt like our midfield felt that a little bit today.
Certainly did. Murphy, dreadful when he come on. Just can't cross a ball for Britain, can he?
The thing is with Murphy, and I know he gets his stick, the only thing I can say is that Eddie Howe clearly had players that he wanted to move on this summer, players that he wanted to keep. And it's not like we didn't let players go. We let go of Clark, Fernandez, Matty Longstaff. There was a list there. And had he wanted to, he could have moved Murphy on as well. He didn't. He's clearly got a bit of faith in him, and I think on his day, he can be a good player. We're still waiting for that day.
Whenever that is, I don't know.
We're still waiting for that day, but I'll hold the faith, and as I say, you know, as much as we did spend a lot of money, we didn't bring that many players in. We brought in 8 players January summer, and all together spent 220 million. That's a lot of money, and arguably would maybe not, but otherwise all of them first team players.
Yep.
We didn't buy players to sit on the bench or sit in the squad. We've bought players to play, and you could say that we could have gone out and maybe bought a few more who could have filled the squad, and that might have helped, but generally I feel like we did the right thing, and I think Eddie Howe's obviously got some faith in some of these guys who are still in the squad.
Yes, so West Ham a week tomorrow. If we get Bruno and Maxi back, could we get something out of that game? They've not had the best of start of the season themselves, so why not? We've got a decent good record at the London Stadium as well.
You're right, and I will say that against Liverpool in the week, I was disappointed going into that game, because had we have had Bruno, Maxi, Wilson, I tell you what, I think it was probably the first time in a very long time I would have fancied our chances at Anfield. So you talk about going down to London Stadium, if we've got those players, I fancy us against anyone.
Well, brilliant, thank you.
Good man.
Shocking, Newcastle 0, Crystal Palace 0. Frustrating the day, didn't get the 3 points. What do you make of it?
An all-round frustrating afternoon. What promised so much to try and pick ourselves up after the disappointing Liverpool defeat, which I'm still a little bit frustrated at. I'm more frustrated at the second goal that Isaac was not given, which clearly was a goal. We play against a half decent Crystal Palace side. They're not to be underestimated, and I just thought we're below par, I would say, in the final third today. I thought we were very frustrating in the final third. I think Eddie Howe could have made a few changes to the game. I looked at Fraser today, I thought he was frustrating. I thought Joe Linton was frustrating.
I thought Fraser, Joe Linton huffed and puffed. I thought Willock and Longstaff were very ineffective for me today.
Didn't see anything in the middle of the park. I think Willock lost. That was to Crystal Palace's gain in how they play football. On the first half, I thought, as you do, we started brightly. We had some chances. Isaac, for me, has got to score.
Oh, put your foot through that. That's in the back of the net.
I mean, when the Crystal Palace player makes the mistake, he's bearing on goal. And, if he places it into the bottom right corner, he scores. And it's 1-0. And for me, we kick on from there. You don't piss around in the box and hit it at the keeper. Otherwise, the keeper wins all day long, and he did. But we should be in that situation. We should be going 1-0 ahead.
Should be, yes. Sorry, I know you've been a big fan of him. Murphy, dreadful when he come on. Kind of cross the ball. Just kind of cross the ball.
Yeah, I mean, it was frustrating. As I said, I thought the refereeing performance today was poor. The amount of times he was stopping the play every 5 seconds. I said the second half for me didn't get any better for us. Equally frustrating afternoon. There was obviously the one with a foul on the Crystal Palace keeper, which again I can't really question because I wasn't really there to say I was in the Gallagate. So
yep.
I'd give it the referee the benefit on the fact he's looked at the TV monitor, but then to my annoyance, Guaita has obviously got back up again and as if nothing's happened, and he's seen the decision. Oh great, let's get on with it, But it is frustrating, but I'll have to look back on match of the day tonight. Crystal Palace made some changes, halfway through that second half, and they looked like they were going to go on and win it. At the end of the day, Edouard had far too many chances, around the box, and the way I see it, if he puts his foot for it, he probably scores. We got quite lucky there. But we were trying to go for the winner, but the more went on, and even Anderson, I think Anderson for me probably should start the game rather than play. But yeah, you mentioned Longstaff and others. It was one of them afternoons, you give away an extra 10, 20, half an hour, I think it ends 0-0.
Absolutely. Move on to West Ham a week tomorrow. Hopefully Maxi and Bruno are back. If they are back fit, can we take something out of that game? I mean, they've not had the best starts this season, and we've got a decent record down the London Stadium as well.
You could argue that this week we should be taking 6 points away from Liverpool and Crystal Palace, without Callum Wilson, Bruno, and St Maximin were ineffective. We don't do a great deal, unfortunately. You know, there's no real cutting edge from her. But that's not to say if they are back, we can't do something against West Ham. They've had a bit of an indifferent start. But this is a different West Ham that, you know, to the one that we played maybe just a couple of years ago. But as I said, what we need to do really is turn draws into wins, because, you know, we're turning into this draw specialist sort of side. You know, we're playing half decent football, but we kind of seem to kill teams off, and that's now 4 draws now. Don't get us wrong, it's not the worst. It's better than what Steve Bruce, you know, did this time last season, but we need to be better. And as I said, I thought the transfer window was good, but I still think Eddie Howe looks frustrated that we didn't offload more players and potentially bring another one in.
Yeah, same. Brilliant, thank you. Liam, Newcastle 0, Crystal Palace 0. Bit of a frustrating day. Well, I'm coming away with 3 points today. What do you make of that?
It was just so frustrating against the Palace side. We should be looking to beat teams like Crystal Palace. If it was at Silver Park, I've been happy with a point. But one thing I do want to say, what is Isak doing though? Trying to trick the goalkeeper. And it's like what? Distance between him and the goalkeeper, like me and you right now?
Yeah, absolutely. Put your foot through that. That's in the back of the net.
Yeah, it is. And if we score a goal, different game is totally different.
Absolutely. Midfield, not up to scratch really the day, I've got to admit. I mean, Joe Linton huffs and puffs, which he does, but Willock and Longstaff ineffective for me the day.
Yeah, man, the midfield is so weird, because during Jonathan Taylor down saying we need a midfielder. If we brought a creative midfielder in, I think we could win that game today.
We could have done. Yeah, we could have done the day. Sorry, Murphy, dreadful when he came on. I just thought when he came on, this game's now finishing 0-0. He can't cross a ball.
Honestly, the longer that game went, I was saying to myself, this got 0-0 written all over it. And Murphy, he's a championship player, let's be honest.
I mean, he fought after the loan spells he had and shown some glimpses, particularly under Steve Bruce as well, but he's just gone way downhill now.
Yeah, I think he knows himself that he does have a future at this club. I think he can see it himself, and everyone else knows it as well.
Yeah.
Bruce should have got a win in as well, in my opinion, but we didn't.
No, that's it for me. So, was the goal rightfully disallowed for us?
I mean,
we need to see that back, don't we?
I couldn't really probably see it, because I was in East, I was more towards the guy getting than the.
Well, I've seen you.
Yeah, so I need to probably see before I can give my actual opinion, if that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we'll move on to West Ham a week tomorrow. If we get Bruno and Maxi back, can we take something out of that game? I think we've got a good record down the London Stadium as well.
Yeah, I think we can get some. I think, in my opinion, West Ham will put all the eggs in one basket for that Conference League, because there's no expectations in terms of the league for them. You get what I mean?
Yep. Well, brilliant. Thank you. Newcastle United 0, Crystal Palace 0.
Yeah.
Very frustrating the day. We haven't took the 3 points, which we really needed out there the day, didn't we?
We did, but I think we were knackered, Peter, to be honest. I think certainly second half, 3 games in 6 days with the injuries we've got. Frustration is definitely the word today. Isak missing that chance in the first 10 minutes.
I mean, put your foot through that. That's in the back of the net.
I think he had too much time. I think, he had to run, 40, 45 yards with the ball. It'll have been in his head, running at the Gallagher end, second game ever in the Premier League. He's still a young kid, remember. So, he went to dink it over the keeper in the end, and unfortunately it didn't happen, but look what he did at Liverpool. This guy is class. I've got no worries about Isak. Second half, he played some wonderful through balls, and had our guys been a bit more switched on, they would have got onto them, but that's where we missed the class of Bruno, Maxi, etc., and Callum Wilson to be.
Absolutely. Again, I thought midfield quite ineffective. Joe Linton huffed and puffed, but I thought Willock Longstaff not effective for me the day.
Well, for me, Willock scored a perfectly good goal.
He did, yeah.
I can't believe that got disallowed, because they played it again on the big screen, and the whole of the Leazes end started booing, which gives me the impression that nobody saw a foul. So I'll have to see it again when I get home. But for me, Willock was brave. He put his head into a dangerous area, and we scored a goal, perfectly legitimate. But again, we talk about VAR and referees and how bad they are.
Monumental bellends is what they are at the moment.
Well, I don't know who's training these people, Peter. I don't. We're talking week in, week out about players, referees. Why? We shouldn't have to. It should be every game that the referee never gets mentioned, or we say, we haven't spoke about the referee today, he had a good game. But it's, people saying over the summer that there's this conspiracy against Newcastle United, blah, blah, blah. And I used to wash it off thinking, nah. But I'm genuinely starting to think that there's something negative going on with the FA and our football club. And I think it needs sorting out, because the standard of refereeing we've seen and the decisions against us that we've seen at the start of this season are nothing short of diabolical.
Yep, absolutely. Murphy, dreadful when he come on. I'm sick of this people saying, oh, but he's got bags of energy, but the end product is absolutely horrendous.
Same as Fraser, Pete. Bags of energy, but nothing there. I mean, Fraser's starting to frustrate me now, because, yes, he don't get us wrong, he works hard, he sprints around. Where's the product? There is none. Now, I said, in my preview show the other day, I would love to see Elliot Anderson start, and I think I was proved right when he came on, because he looked brilliant for 20 minutes. Disappointing he brought Miggy off. I thought Miggy was our best player today. And the thing is with Miggy, he started this season so well and his confidence is up, but bringing him off time and time again for Jacob Murphy, it's just going to knock his confidence back down again. And he was devastated when he got brought off today. There was no reason to bring him off. Murphy did nothing when he came on.
Absolutely not. We'll move on to West Ham a week tomorrow. If hopefully Maxi and Bruno are back, can we take something out of that? I mean, we've got a good record down at West Ham as well.
The thing is, right, we've played 3 games in 6 games. We've got a week's rest, 6 days. We've got a week's rest now before we play at West Ham. And, we've written the team off so many times when we've seen the team line up early this season, and look how they've performed. I don't think there's anything to worry about at West Ham. I think it'll be a good game. Obviously, they've made some very good signings. A certain Paqueta's there as well. So it'll be interesting to see if Bruno does play, how those two go against each other in the midfield. So there'll be battles. But I think a good week's rest, hopefully a couple of players back, and I think we'll be good to go again. I don't fear West Ham. I think it'll be a good game. But we just have to be on our game again. And Eddie's got to he's got to make the right decisions, because he's not beyond any criticism. I love the guy, and everybody does know that. But you can criticise sometimes, and I think he made the wrong decision playing Fraser, and he definitely made the wrong decision taking Miggy off.
That was the thing, wasn't it? Well, brilliant, thank you. He's put... Is that it? Archer, Newcastle 0, Crystal Palace 0. Bit frustrating the day we haven't come away with the 3 points. How are you feeling after that?
How am I feeling? Shite. No, I played. I've now what to say about that performance. We should have won at least 1-0 or something, but Alexander Isaac had a chance. Willock, but Palace were just one of those. They were just awful.
I mean, time wasting as well. Isaac's got to score that. Put your foot through that, and that's it.
Isak should have scored, but just didn't know what to do. Like, it's just one of those things, isn't it? Poor performance.
Yeah. Midfield, quite ineffective. Joe Linton huffed and puffed. Longstaff, Willock, not effective for me, even though Willock had the ball in the net. What do you think?
Like they just... we literally should have done something out of today. It was just, like, absolutely poor.
I mean, it was... Murphy, dreadful when he come on. I'm sick of this bags of energy from fans. The crossing is just absolutely woeful.
Murphy's awful, isn't he?
I mean, how many times have you seen them try to put crossing after the box and they're just absolute shit?
Yeah, that's correct. Absolutely shite.
Yep. We'll move on to West Ham a week tomorrow. Hopefully, if Maxi and Bruno are back fit, can we get something? I mean, I think we've got a good record down at the London Stadium as well.
Well, we should get something out of West Ham next week. I hope Maxi's available, and see if there's any. See if Bruno's available. It all depends on the injuries, isn't it?
Yep. I mean, we need. Do you think, again, go back to that? Was that goal rightfully chalked off there for us, or do you feel like you need to see it again before making a decision on it?
I think Willock was pushed from.
I'm hearing that as well.
I think he was pushed, but The referee was shite.
Silly was. Well then, final moment, here we go.
Hey, the crazy little Scotsman! Where's me fucking wee eye, boo?